And this is a presentation by Dr. Silvia Olivares and Miriam Turrubiates. Silvia's from the Academic Dean of the School of Medicine at Tecnológico de Monterrey in Mexico. And Miriam's also from the Academic Department of the School of Medicine and Health Science at the same institution, Monterrey in Mexico. And their presentation is Action Learning, Challenges that Impact Employability Skills. So over to you.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, that's all good.
So thank you very much for the introduction, Bill. And I want to recognize Tech Labs for the funding of this project and the rest of the authors of the paper that we are going to present, which are on the screen. The next one. Yes, well, something about us. We are from Mexico, from Tecnológico de Monterrey. This is a picture of our university. We have plenty of mountains. This is the most iconic mountain of the city, which is in the back of the picture. And in Mexico, we say hola to say hi, so hola to everyone. Well, we're going to present to you what it's called in Spanish, Semana Y. Semana means week, so this is the I week. It's a 5-day period of the semester in which students from all professional programs participate simultaneously in disciplinary, multidisciplinary, and challenging learning activities. We actually stop the university for more than 50,000 of students at one point of the year in order to do this. This yearly activity, what do they do is change every schedule they already have and to turn in and to get into the I week. They have like 1,200 plus activities to select, and students may participate in different activities across 26 campus, which are located in the entire country. These activities not necessarily should be related to their own program, but there is more important to the competencies they learn through these activities. This program started as a experimentation factory, as a lab for faculty, because they have the total freedom to decide what to create in order to be innovative, short-term, and immersive learning activities. They decide if they want to implement it anywhere in the world. They decide location. It's especially desired to be off campus. And it's decided to partner with any organization they like, and they may co-design it with any colleague or people they really want to attract to this activity. What is really important is that the activity, whichever they decide, has these 4 quality criteria. The development of transversal competencies, which are the soft skills required for employability skills. To consider a challenging situation which the students must address during that week. And the schedule contains 40 hours because this is an immersive activity, and an assessment method for evaluation of these competencies. This action learning approach considers what we call challenge-based learning. It has 4 important principles. It's student-centered, it's collaborative, it's experiential, and transformational. I'm going to explain each of those. It's student-centered because the faculty exposes students to authentic situations. What we want to do is to have a dose of reality during that week, and they need to engage about inquiring in whichever topic they are focused during that week, considering the state-of-the-art knowledge regarding that topic. And it's important for them to address multiple perspectives, closing the gap from theoretical concept and practices. It is collaborative because there's an interdisciplinary work. The students may decide to select some of the activities. Of course, there are some that are more related to a specific topic, and sometimes students from that topic are more engaged, or they desire more to get in that practice, but still there are many of them, most of them are open to anyone. It is not necessarily restricted by year of the students, which in which are registered, so they are possible to have an activity with older generations and freshmen. And they also may collaborate for people from all the schools that have the Tecnológico Monterrey, which may be business, engineering, health, government, arts, and so on and so forth. Depending on their profile, they provide their own perspective and disciplined background to find the integral solution. Next. It is mainly experiential. There is a sense of reality and proximity to the final organizations, communities, or users. We have been adding what we call educational partners, which are those organizations that help us to create this environment for the students. Since the start of this week in 2015, now we have more than 1,000 organizations working with us to educate our students, which may come from public or private sector, government, consulting firms, headquarters, research labs, or community associations. Next. It has also the project and action research part, because we include important research action during each year that we have been working on this project. This is an example of the results. We ask faculty members, students, and partners what they believe the students have learned through the week, considering these competences, transversal competence. The most popular answers in this particular year were problem solving, teamwork, and innovation, and then followed by critical thinking, intellectual curiosity, and leadership. What is important here is we have the perspective from different stakeholders and participants from the project. Next one. These research students, we have accumulated some papers. The one that we are presenting here is this one action learning challenge that impaired employability skills, and but we have some others in other journals. Next. We have been using the expectation confirmation theory. What we use here is we have a pretest before the I-week. Would we assess expectation and preferences for learning, considering the transversal competences? And then we ask some paired items at the end of the I-week to understand the perceived value on competence learning and in a post-test. This comparison gives us p-value, and this p-value may tell us that the students confirm what they were expected. Sometimes their expectations are exceeded, or sometimes they could be not being addressed. Other students have shown that the more difference in this and as a post-test from the pre-test give us more satisfaction on the students on this experience. These are some of the results. The blue indicate that there were exceeded competences through that we've been assessing this since 2017. And the last year we found that 9 competences were actually exceeded from the comparison from the pre-test and post-test, because each year we make a continuous improvement and try to understand what can be done in order for them to learn more. Next. And this is the model that it's in the paper. What we found is the important competences that students refer to be learning during the I-week. are self skills regarding self-directed learning, considering personal and learning soft skills, intellectual curiosity, problem solving, and critical thinking, and regarding social and systemic soft skills, teamwork, and innovation. This student was made with a population of 929 students. Semana E can be anywhere in the world as long as the faculty member finds the proper educational partner for the students to learn something valuable. And each year we have, well, the last year was an exception because of, this year was an exception because of the pandemic 2020, but last year we had more than 30 travel experiences during the I-Week. The next one. And they faculty collaborate with whoever they want. They collaborate with industry leaders, policymakers, community leaders, researchers, faculty from other disciplines, even from other universities, and also students. Students are also invited to co-design activities with, as long as they have one faculty member who are engaged or interested in their idea. And they also may have any topic they want to teach. The important here is the faculty could be really creative about their activity. Miriam here is going to mention some examples of these activities.
So one example is the activity called CSI Crime Scenes, where students experience solving a criminal investigation. They get to know all the areas, processes, infrastructure, and equipment that is used in these expert services. The students visit the medical service where the autopsies are made and the Institute of Criminalistic and Expert Services of Ballistic, Genetics, Fingerprints, and other evidence laboratories. The students perceive that they develop the competence of problem solving. This activity received an award by the Conference of the Association of Medical Education in Europe. Another example is MOSLA, Emerging Technologies to Evolve Society. The activity consists of students identifying opportunities using technological megatrends such as virtual reality, Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, 3D printing, etc. They work in interdisciplinary teams with the mentoring of experts to propose innovation projects. The students perceived that the competence they developed was intellectual curiosity. In the activity Theater with Meaning, the students have the opportunity to be an artist, a producer, a writer, or a director of a play. By a play, they promote awareness and sensibilization related with social problems in the community. Some of the contents in this activity are the art of creating theater, social problems, and role play and presentation. The students perceive they develop the competence of collaboration. Another activity is Me, You, Other, and Us. This activity is about diversity and human rights. The students build solid arguments to propose a more just, equitable, and inclusive society. The contents are diversity, discrimination, and human dignity, and actions in favor of diversity. The students perceive that they develop the competence of empathy. Dr. Silvia will explain this activity.
This is another example. This is developed with an important corporation, global corporation of cement. It's called Cemex, Designing Green Marketing Strategies at Cemex. The purpose was to design a sales strategy for CEMEX ecological stops in order to reach a greater number of people and communities without the need of intermediaries. The aspects that should be included in the proposal were marketing, distribution, finance, human resources, and social impact. This activity was linked to the CEMEX corporate social responsibility objectives. The students perceived that they developed the competence of citizenship. In the picture here, what you see is an example of the faculty members who actually designed and executed this Semana activity. They presented the results of their activity during a big conference, which we have annually at Tecnológico Monterrey. And like these faculty members, we have others that have been working on educational research in order to understand what the students learn from this activity with the expectation confirmation theory method and value perceived method, which are the ones that we were using during these years, and the instrument is presented on the paper. And we have a total so far 23 papers presented in national and international conferences. This activity, maybe you may think that it's only for our university, but what we have learned so far is that other universities are learning and adapting this M&A to their own context. This is the example of the Universidad del Desarrollo in Chile, which has already applied the I-Week, and they have more than 3,000 students participating in more than 200 challenges each year. In fact, this year they also did it online, the university. Since 2016, we've receiving several awards. Some are examples, as the Miriam mentioned, particular examples from one particular I-Week. The last one was, we received the second place in the European Consortium of Innovative Universities and Team Award Innovation in Teaching and Learning. And this was something that received like only a couple of weeks ago. And well, this experience of M&A has been a pilot to improve the definition of competences. The faculty have learned a lot through these processes because they are learning to have networking with the context, with the organizations from community, from private sector and public sector or whatever, in order to close the gap from theory to practice. And they have learned a lot through the process, and they are more aware of the meaning of a competence and how to work developing and assessing competences. The I-Week, Semana I, is now evolving in what we now call Semana Tech or the Tech Week. We used to have Semana I only once a year in the students that started last year. Now we have it 4 times during a year, and during the pandemic, we changed it into remote practice. And in this Semana Tech, the 4 quality criteria have remained. However, it's now compulsory. It's part of the curriculum. It's part of the program for every student across Tecnológico Monterrey. Starting for the ones that were in the new model Tech 21, which is called now, starting the last year in 2019. And we have an activity in the breakout rooms for you. I really like princesses and Disney princesses, and Miriam is going to explain the activity.
So I'm going to share here in the chat this link. So we want that you imagine that you can go wherever you want in the world and that you can collaborate with whoever you want and that you can select any topic to teach. We're going to make teams in the breakout rooms, and in the link that I gave to you, you're going to share your ideas with your team and think, what is your wish and what is stopping you to make your wish come true?
So,
Genevieve, can you help?
how was your exercise? Did you like it? Did you enjoy it?
Yeah.
It was fun. It was lots of fun.
Well, Bill and I are going up to Japan to set up a pottery workshop.
Yeah.
I did say I wanted to go to Memphis and do a record with Stevie Wonder, but I'm not sure. Well, we did get down to more serious issues.
So Miriam, can you share the notes from the groups? So maybe we can go through them and each one of the team members may talk about it. I don't know who volunteered from the team one. Yeah.
You going, Bob? You all right?
I keep doing it all the time. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Colin, do you want to? No? Okay. So, well, we decided that quite quickly that we'd quite like to go to Greece, to Athens, and we started thinking about sort of archaeology, history, then the exciting thing of mythology, and then we talked about philosophy, and then we were wondering who we'd invite. So obviously Aristotle, his influence in ancient research, and Socrates and Zeus, and we thought Medusa would be quite cool. Then how would we do that? We thought we'd perhaps maybe a reconstruction or a construction or some sort of a role play, maybe where I guess such as Aristotle was a hologram or an actor, or we'd set up this whole street scene. Then we thought we'd like to kind of get to know a little bit about the daily life in which Aristotle was and talked, and the context of that. So we kind of thought about, you know, hearing about the day-to-day people, slaves and other people in the street at that time. And then we kind of started talking about topics, and Bob was really interested in boat building, traditional boat building, and Salita really loved the idea of looking at some Greek food, cooking classes, and somebody else mentioned astronomy and mathematics. So then we got into a discussion about why so much that happened at that time has had such an impact on our daily thinking today. Why did the Greeks have so much influence compared with other other cultural groups, races, countries? So that was us. So thank you. We enjoyed that little bit of a wish list.
That's great. What about the team number 2?
Yeah, I'll take the lead on that one. Mainly because I just did the typing, I think, more than anything. But yeah, we struggled a little bit with what we were trying to get out of it. There was lots of discussion about where we'd like to go, but would it actually make a difference, or would it? So there was a lot of discussion about actually wouldn't mind just improving where we are, and we went back to that point that in some of the earlier presentations today about our wish that we could make the world better, whatever that meant, and we we had a lot of discussion about teaching and how that fits in with the action learning approach, and we actually thought that we'd probably be better to create conditions for others to learn, and that we'd like to go and learn from each other. And there was a lot of discussion about Japan and certain styles of pottery and how we'd like to get involved in that as well.
So art, okay, that's great, and tradition and culture, that's great. What about the team 3?
There is no team 3.
No, team 3. Okay, team 4. Wow, you're coming to Mexico.
Raphael, do you want to do the talking on one?
Yeah, who wants to share?
Well,
Rafael, do you?
I wanted to talk about, I just mentioned the Chiapas part because you asked where I want to go. In Chiapas, obviously natural beauty and everything, but also home of the Zapatistas. So I've always, you know, really wanted to visit their communities and learn with them, and I feel it's not impossible. I feel there's some networking that needs to be done, but I feel if I really wanted to, I could probably do so.
Then Raphael mentioned he hadn't been to Australia, so we started getting on to talking about Tasmania and how beautiful it is. And so we thought, well, that experience with Clyde Mansell and the Indigenous knowledge, that would be a great place to learn about community and collaboration. So, and then we talked about the different aspects of interests that we had, like Raphael's interest in Caribbean history and mine in teaching wellbeing, and then there was comments about teaching social study and teaching for inquiry and HR and action research. And then I talked about my experience with the experiential learning, which is a really wonderful way of learning. So yeah, we're kind of all there.
Wow, you have so many ideas to learn from. And actually the exercise was about that, to share, to collaborate, to get the idea of some different pedagogical experience. And we can start from that, start to imagine something and then realize that it's actually possible to get there. We have plenty of technology that it's available in order for us to make some, it's not possible today because of the pandemic, it's actually possible because we can get to so many people around the world that can share actually all of you, what you just said. It's just having the time and the passion to find that people who can collaborate with us and try to experience those topics with some students. It not has to be as part of the program, it can be all extracurricular. It's always possible. Then we have a final slides for us to share. We want to invite you to make your wish come true. We have a video that we want to share with you about the Semana Y. It's in Spanish, but it's it has closed caption. You have to share the sound.
Yeah.
Semana Y es un momento para que todos los alumnos se enfrenten a retos reales de la sociedad.
Es un espacio de inmersión, es una oportunidad de innovación. Es en realidad sorprendente todo lo que son capaces nuestros alumnos, guiados por sus profesores, en tan solo una semana.
Para esta Semana Y nos preparamos, tuvimos varias juntas de integración.
Donde definimos un plan de trabajo, en qué puntos o actividades queremos enfocar a los alumnos.
No solamente creas una relación humana, ¿no? Sino que también te permite alcanzar una meta a largo plazo con estas mismas empresas.
El mayor reto que tengo para esta semana es aprender cómo pilotear un avión.
Romper el paradigma que tengo de estar en un salón de clases aprendiendo y salirme al mundo exterior a tener un reto presencial en una empresa real.
Desarrollar un artefacto que facilite el uso para una persona con parálisis cerebral.
Poder hacer una campaña de mercadotecnia viable.
Sientes que te están tomando en cuenta, que es una gran oportunidad para que empresas grandes a nivel mundial se fijen en ti.
Para Walmart es un orgullo tener la posibilidad de recibir estudiantes del TEC de Monterrey.
Creo que como competencia de egreso, primero que nada el networking que estoy haciendo aquí, porque me toca conocer a todos los que están trabajando en el Hub de Innovación de Excel.
Being able to work with companies on such a level is something that no matter what industry will be entered in the job or career life afterwards, will be a plus for the students in their experience.
Y de esa manera nos ayudan como a movernos un poco de la teoría. Y esto es muy importante porque la vida pues es práctica, ¿no? Entonces, al momento de estar practicando en diferentes retos, pues crecemos como profesionistas.
En la vida va a cambiar todo, siempre te va a cambiar todo y vas a tener mucha incertidumbre, pero la gente exitosa es la que precisamente toma los retos, toma la incertidumbre y se lanza.
Felicidades porque fue sensacional el segundo año. Yo veo...
So, thank you very much for having this opportunity to share with you what we have done with this project. It's a lot of people that have worked on this, and we are still working to make your wish come true. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Silvia and Miriam. That really impressive program, and having employed young graduates over many decades now, it's always a challenge to get people with practical skills that matches their theoretical learning. So it's a really good way to just broaden their knowledge and, as you say, the employability skills. So it'd be great to be able to see collaboration on this program with other, universities, especially in our part of the world. But that's just being selfish. But yeah, no, really impressive. So we've gotten a little bit over time, but probably any questions there of
that was
the
my
presenters?
fault, Bill, because I forgot to close the breakout rooms at the 10-minute mark. Sorry
that's
about
right. That's Christine probably wants to go to bed, but in the UK, and so does Tom. But if we hold them, interesting questions, we'll keep them up for another couple of minutes. Any questions of the group?
Are you looking for other universities, say in Australia or New Zealand, for example, or UK, or indeed anywhere, to collaborate on this?
As long as one faculty member is willing to have that conversation, it's possible. I mean, as we did in the exercise, they can collaborate with whoever they want to, anywhere in the world. So of course it's possible.
Because that could be a nice challenge to get our local university in Tasmania to, if someone said they wanted to go to Tasmania there, but if we could get some, when things open up.
Since it's everything online, the activities right now, this year, the students were working with the students from Ecuador. So it's totally possible.
Any other comments or questions?
Just a brief comment. I was reflecting back on the slides you presented earlier, and there was one about the assessment or evaluation of how the program went, and it was from the faculty, the students, and the partners. And I was interested on the leadership one, where the faculty didn't measure the leadership development as highly as the students and the industry. Did you find, was that, I just found that interesting that there was a different level of acceptance of leadership development or acknowledgement of leadership development. Do you see that leadership is developed out of these programs?
Yeah, we measure through this expectation confirmation theory. We measure before the I-week and after the I-week some description regarding leadership. And if after the Semana week, they perceive that they'll learn more than they were expecting, we consider that this confirmation of their expectations. In fact, exceeded confirmation.
Yeah. Even the faculty members versus the students and the partners.
Yeah, we have some students, but they actually during that week, I mean, they are partners during the design, but during execution, they're actually students.
Excellent. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, we might leave it there. The email addresses for Silvia and Miriam are up on the chat, so encourage you all to have further conversations. We'll have the learning lounges open
Yes, I'm just
during the
opening
lunch
them
break,
now.
so you can go into those breakout rooms. They're optional. You can select any of them, and you'll thank me. Join me in thanking Silvia and Miriam in the excellent presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you for the invitation.
Thank you.